Sony, what are you doing? The free games for April 2019 for all PlayStation Plus subscribers just dropped on Tuesday. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that I've been making it my mission to download and play all the free games that come out. Because not everybody has unlimited internet, and not everybody has a lot of space to just download whatever games come out. And I'm trying to make that decision a little bit easier by letting you guys know what I think of them. Showing you some gameplay, and just talking about the game. So this is Matt with Hanley Gaming, and these are the free games for April 2019 for PlayStation Plus. First up, we got The Surge. It's by Focus Home Interactive and was released on May 16, 2017, so almost 2 years ago. Now, it retails for $67. Now, that's in Canada. I don't know what it is in the US. If you're from the US, leave in the comments below how much it is there. I'm curious. Alright, let's talk a bit about the game. So, you're in the future, and the world has changed. Now, you start off as a guy in a wheelchair, and you're getting to where they have the exosuits. You're applying for a job that gives you an exosuit. Now, you can choose between the two different suits. One's a heavy, brute type suit, and the other one's more agile, quick suit. I chose the more agile suit. Now, it puts you through surgery. It's a cutscene where the guy's going for surgery, and it says he's sedated, but he's not. So then he's going through all the pain of having this exosuit attached to his body. Then he goes unconscious. You see that it says, an error has occurred. You wake up in a junkyard. You've been targeted for disassembly. So that's why you're fighting. You're fighting to survive. Now, the combat is very similar to the combat in, say, Dark Souls or Bloodborne. I believe this is also the same maker of a game called Lords of the Fallen, which was also a free PlayStation Plus game in the past. And again, very similar style to Bloodborne. Difficulty-wise as well, it's a very difficult game. Now, what I like about the game, there is a lot of combat, and the combat is pretty brutal. To get armor and upgrades for your armor on your exosuit, you have to, when you defeat your enemies, you have to either decapitate or dismember them. You decapitate them to get armor for your head and face, and you have to target which body part you want to dismember to get that armor. Whether it be the right leg, left arm, left arm, torso. You have to choose which part of the body you want to dismember to get that armor. Whether it be the blueprint to craft it, or armor parts to upgrade the armor, or to craft it. You'll need parts to craft and upgrade. For each enemy that you down, you get the in-game currency, which you have to then bring to the med center, where you put in the implants that you pick up, and where you craft and upgrade your armor. Now, for what I don't like about the game, yes, there's a lot of combat, but the combat escalates in difficulty very, very quickly. Now, just like in Bloodborne and Dark Souls, if you played those games, you know you're going to die a lot. Now, when you defeat an enemy and you go into the next area, if you go back to the original area that you were in, which you will do a lot, every enemy that you destroyed, you've killed them, you've cut their head off, or you slice them in half, they're back there. they're as good as new, and you gotta fight them again. And you go down very quickly. Like, they'll take, you know, like 10 shots or whatever to get one of them down. And they'll knock you down in 3 hits, and sometimes they'll even one-shot you. Like, there's this lunge attack that they do, and I've been taken down in 1 hit. And the combat system, to aim at their body parts, like the way you fight, they have armored parts, they have unarmored parts. So you can target their limbs, you can target their head, and you're going to target for places that aren't armored, and you'll do more damage. If they are armored, then you'll do very little damage. And now, the aiming system I find a little bit not responsive. So, you know, it's a bit difficult to go from, you know, the head to the leg, you know, if you want to find the unarmored parts of the body. Now, they are highlighted in blue, which helps, but still, you got to target that body part, and it's not always going to want to cooperate. Now, if you're fighting 2 enemies at once, to get to the other enemy, to target onto him, you got to use the right thumbstick. So it's the same to target different body parts as it is to target your enemies. So it does get a little bit difficult where you go down in 3 hits or less. They've got to do it better than that. And lots of times the combat is stamina based, so when you're fighting multiple enemies, it does feel very clunky, very slow, and, you know, you have to dodge and stuff constantly, and then, you know, you do 1 or 2 attacks, and then you're being attacked from behind, and you go down. And when you do go down, which is going to happen a lot, everything that you've picked up after you've been to the med center the last time, you drop. And then when you respawn, you don't have long, about 2 minutes, to go and pick up what you just dropped. So if you're in a far part, you're not going to get it, and you lose everything that you just picked up. And it is annoying, because, you know, you pick up a bunch of stuff. Alright, I got, you know, 2,000 currency, let me go drop it off. All the enemies that you've defeated to get there are back up, you gotta fight them. And then when you want to go back to where you were, you gotta do everything all over again. You've got to fight all those enemies all over again. And it gets really boring really fast, because you never feel like you're progressing. You're just fighting the same enemies over and over again. So, yeah, I don't like that about the game. The combat doesn't feel right in a game that's heavily based on combat and relies on you doing well in combat, because you drop everything when you don't. So, like, it just doesn't feel good enough. It's not fleshed out enough. And, you know, yeah, the targeting system is different, but they gotta change it, you know, like, make it a different button to target different enemies. You know, you sometimes have 4 enemies ambush you all at once, and where you go down in 3 hits and they take, you know, up to 10 hits to take down, the combat system's not good enough for that. Like, I understand what they were trying to do, but they could have changed it. Is this game worth $67? No. Is it worth a free download? It depends. If you're not into this type of game where you're going to die a lot, combat system's not the greatest in my opinion, you're not going to like it. But if you like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, and you like those games where the combat is very intense for every single battle, then yeah, you might like it. I'm not going to be keeping this game, personally. Now, it is an RPG, and it is a lot of grinding. I don't like that in this game, because it seems like you're never progressing. And maybe I'm being a bit too hard on the combat system, because I have been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey lately, and I feel that that combat system is a lot better. Now, that game, brand new, costs $79.99 plus tax, so $80 plus tax. I didn't buy it for that price. I got it for, I think it was 50. Yeah, I got it for $50 plus tax, so I did get it on sale. So I paid less for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I believe is a lot better than this game would have cost if I bought this at full price, at $67 plus tax. You know, even at full price, Odyssey is a little bit more expensive, and in my opinion is a lot better in the combat, and you know, just in general, it's a lot better game. So I wouldn't recommend the Surge, but some people will like it. Good news is it's a very small download. It's only about 6 gigs, so not too big of a deal. Now for Conan Exiles. It's made by Funcom Oslo and was released May 8th, 2018, so almost a year ago. And the full retail price on the PlayStation Store is, again, $67 for this game as well. Now, a bit about this game. This game is also a RPG, but it is a builder/survival RPG. Now, it takes place in the Conan world, and you don't play as Conan, but you play as somebody that was crucified in the desert, and he rescues you. And then the game pretty much leaves you to your own devices. It gives you no direction. It's just like, here you go. So, what do I like about this game? Not really anything. To be honest, not really much. It's basically dislikes. Now, what I dislike about the game, again, it gives you no direction. It's just like, here you go. It gives you a little bit of a tutorial about the menu screens and stuff that you're going to be going through while you play the game. Most of the game is spent gathering resources and crafting. Now, when you craft things, some of them take ridiculous amounts of items. Even early on, just to get a stone sword to defend myself, I needed like a bunch of rocks. I needed twine, which is like plant fibers merged together to make twine, and then you needed sticks as well. So sticks, stones, and twine, which is made by you pick up the plant fibers and then craft those into twine. It's like, I think 5 plant fibers for 1 twine or something, and you need a bunch of twine. So you're walking around gathering a bunch of resources to craft. Now, when you craft, it's done in real time. This game can be played PvP and can be played co-op. I just played single player offline, and it was a pretty bad experience. It feels like a game where you need to play with some friends, but I don't know anybody that's playing this game, so that wasn't feasible. So yeah, maybe that's what dragged it down a lot, that I was playing by myself offline. But again, I've got 0 friends playing this game, so that wasn't feasible for me. Now, the world seems very dead where it starts you off. Like, you're in a desert, so yeah, it'll be expected. But then when you start coming across NPCs, they're in groups, and they all want to kill you. So you'll see like a minimum of 2, and then like sometimes there'll be like 5 trying to gang up on you. Like, I ran into this one area, and it was 2 NPCs, and they see me, they start walking over to me. One pulls out a sword, the other pulls out an axe, and they're both coming to kill me. I swim across the water because for some reason they don't know how to swim. They gave up, and there's some crocodiles, like 5 of them, and they all want to eat me. So I start swimming to the next part. Now, they do follow you through the water, so I didn't get rid of them. And then I come across 2 women with like spears, and they want to kill me. And then they start fighting with the crocodiles, and like everybody's fighting each other, and they still all want to kill me. So it's kind of hard. And then when you do have items in your inventory, you know, you're gathering items to craft stuff, you become over encumbered pretty quickly. So then you can't even run. And running is based on stamina. And combat's based on stamina. So you can't fight then run away when you're low on stamina. And you can't even dodge when you're low on stamina. So you're going to die a lot. And when you're carrying items and you die, you lose all those items. And you have to go back to your dead body to pick them up. And, you know, you craft a sword. Your swords get damaged and you have to repair them by gathering more resources that you're going to use to craft. And, you know, there's a crafting queue, and, you know, so you don't have things right away. You got to wait for them to be done. And it didn't suck me in at all. I played for, you know, about an hour. I think a little bit more than an hour. And the gameplay just did not suck me in. You know, the combat is extremely difficult, especially in the early stages. I killed one crocodile. Other than that, I got killed. And I had to keep running back to my corpse to pick up my items. And when you set a waypoint on the map, it doesn't show up on screen at all. So you got to keep referring back to the map, which I didn't like. Because, again, it doesn't pause the game. So the game's going on in the background while you open up the map. And if something's coming after you and you're trying to get somewhere important, you're gonna die if you keep checking the map. So yeah, there's like no icons that come up on screen to show you where you're heading or where you want to head. Again, the combat in this one, same as last time, felt very clunky. It wasn't smooth at all. Felt very slow, and lots of times you stopped attacking. You couldn't really move. You couldn't run away if you're gonna get attacked or dodge out of the way, so you're gonna get hit, because it's all stamina based. So you know, you hit them a couple times, you're out of stamina, you're dead. It just doesn't feel very balanced, to be honest. Would I recommend this game? No, I wouldn't. Not unless you're into builder survival games, which I don't really know anybody that's playing those kind of games anymore. Survival games were a bit of a fad, the way that Battle Royale is now. You know, it was popular at a time when they were developing this game, but it's kind of past its prime, I'd say. Again, don't play this game unless you got friends to play with, because the single-player game just seems dead. It's real drag. It's boring. And chances are you're not going to enjoy it. If you play with friends, at least you're playing with other people. You can interact and kill things together. And it's definitely not worth the 67 plus tax. And again, you know, if you're in the States, and you know, leave in the comments below what this game costs on the PlayStation Store there without the discount. I'm curious about this one as well. I can almost guarantee you whatever it costs, it's not worth it. This game, unlike the last one, is a pretty big download. It's around 40 gigs, so this one is a bit more substantial. But yeah, that's basically my quick overview for Conan Exiles. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. And leave a comment below. What do you think about these games? Have you played them? Are you going to play them? Let me know. And I'll see you in the next video.